please come up. Mr. Antonio Screen, Jr. Mr. Omar Salam provided us with a statement that will be read at the end of the forum, and Mayor Bondoro decided not to attend. A brief reminder of the rules in the run of show. We will have an hour, 15 minutes for this segment. The candidates will have 2 minutes for intros and opening statements. The candidates will also have 3 minutes to respond to each question. This will be a different set of questions. You may hear some familiar questions mixed in as well. Each candidate will then have 1 minute to respond or rebut, and we will be doing responses and rebuttals in this round. And 30 seconds for final statements will be allowed. I will use my discretion to allow for more time and cut off time when needed, continuing on the time that we have here at Albany High School. We will also have a designated section for questions and answers from the audience as we did in the last section. And I'll talk about those rules later. So gentlemen, we'll begin with opening statements. We have a coin to determine who will go first. I will randomly decide. So gentlemen, pick a number between 1 and 10 on the screen. What's your number? 5? 1. The screen, you go first. The number was 7.
How y'all doing today? Who's going off? All right. Oh. Hold it down. I'm holding down. All right, how y'all doing today? Sorry about that. I tried it over and over again. Anyway, I'm Antonio Screen. I'm so honored that y'all came out today to this forum. It is so important that the community get involved with being informed about the candidates. And so thank you for coming out today. Real briefly, have 25 years worth of business experience. I've been very successful at doing that over the years, and that's been a passion of mine. I also serve here as a community leader as far as a ministry here and outreach. We've been huge on outreach for the last 10 years, helping this community in every aspect you can imagine. One of the things that is very important to me is to making sure that Albany have a leader that they can trust. That's been really, really number one on my issues. We need to make sure that we have leadership that's going to be accountable for their actions. Right? We need leadership that says, hey, no matter what the problems or issue are, we're going to make sure that we are accountable to getting it fixed. And so that's what I'm here for. I'm here to make sure that us as a community are very fully aware of what's going on in this community, very fully aware of the decisions that's been made with our tax dollars. And I'm just really excited about the opportunity to be able to serve this community. So many issues that we're going to cover tonight. And hopefully we'll be able to get to the things that are very important to you because that's what means the most. We need people that are not selfish, but selfless. People that care about the community more than they care about themselves. So real quickly, thank you so much for coming out tonight again. And we look forward to this forum on tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Screen. Mr. Mathis, 2 minutes.
Good evening. It's time to move our community ahead. We have a lot of work to do. We have a lot to accomplish. Just take a look around. We have to address crime, community and economic development, public safety, code enforcement, recreation, and that's going to take leadership. It's going to take leadership that can hit the ground running the day after. I'm Henry Mathis, and I'm running for mayor because I have experience. I've served as a commissioner. Though I've not learned and didn't know everything, I've made some mistakes. But today, I'm a better man than I was yesterday. And mistakes is the art of learning. You learn from your mistakes. you become a better person from your mistakes. I've made some, but I have the experience to lead this city. I have the knowledge to lead this city. I've been a commissioner. I've been the vice mayor for several years. I understand parliamentary procedure. We're in a crisis. It's not a time for on-the-job training. It's time for someone who can govern. I can govern. I married my wife here. I raised my kids here. I attended schools here. I went away and served in the military. And I came back, attended Albany State, where I received a BA degree in political science, being the first political science major in the history of that university, college at that time. And I'm also willing to work with my commissioners, be the facilitator, so that we can bring this community together and bring the communities together. Thank you very much.
Mr. Mathis, we'll begin with you, and each candidate will have 3 minutes to respond to each question, 1 minute to respond or rebut, and 30 seconds for final statements. The first question is the same as the first question for the former candidates. The city's budget. Many of our city systems aren't as efficient as they should be. Waste and redundancy are costly and are the result of inefficient leadership. Do you support a citywide audit of our city departments? Why or why not? And provide examples.
No, I do not support a citywide audit, but what I do support is a forensic audit. I will bring in a forensic audit, working with my commissioners, and a forensic audit will show the waste, the misuse, the corruption if there's any. So I would be willing to bring in or recommend to the commission that we have a forensic audit. That will give us the roadmap to deal with our budget. Thank you very much.
Sir?
All right, I know I might give an issue tonight, but I want to say this. Let me be very, very, very clear. As I listened to Mr. Mathis talk, and he talked about experience, I was reminded of a conversation I had with my CEO of our company on 2 days ago, and the question was, hey, this person wants to get a job. It was a rehire, somebody that had already been working with us before. And what do you feel about it? And I said, plain and simple, I said, well, considering what they did when they were here, I would rather take a new person with no experience than somebody that already worked here and didn't do right while they was here. That was my response. So at the end of the day, I think we need to really weigh out our options and ask ourselves, is it experience that we need, or do we need integrity? Because if somebody broke into your house one time, you're going to let them move in and say we're going to give them a chance to steal again? It's really that simple, right? So, as it relates to an audit, I do agree that we need to have an audit, right? Because an audit is going to make sure that we find out not only how they're mismanaging their money, but it's also going to discover who's in there that's doing things with money that is not appropriate, right? So yes, I agree with audits. And most people can agree with audits when they're not in the situation to be audited. But when you get in that situation to be audited, you got to make sure that you are being integral. We got 1 minute or 2. Okay, I'm sorry. So that's what I have to say about it. Thank you so much.
30 seconds, Mr. Mathis, if you have no respond. 30 seconds.
You know, I deliberately put out some information just to see if I could get a response, and I did very well. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Good setup. But my point is, I can hit the ground running. I understand government. I made mistakes, but I'm a better man today. Give me an opportunity to lead the city. We do have a vision, and I hope to get into that vision during this debate in this forum. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, gentlemen. We'll begin with the screen this time. This question is on public safety and is a question by Garrett's Auto. This is a public safety question by Garrick's Auto Repair Shop, who is one of our sponsors for this evening. Albany unfortunately makes regular appearances on most dangerous city lists. Our community battles chronic poverty and health disparities that experts say directly contribute to crime. Our police are understaffed, lack resources, and are only able to respond to crime once it has happened. What is your philosophy when it comes to crime prevention? Do you feel that more cameras and more police are the answer? Or do you feel we need to address the root causes of crime in the form of addressing poverty and lack of access to resources? So again, a three-part question. What is your philosophy? Do you feel that more cameras or police are the answer? Or do you feel that root causes of crime in the form of addressing poverty and access to resources is the option?
Thank you so much. So, of course, everybody knows the crime is an issue here, right? So, I think for starters, just like I believe in any other issue, it starts with leadership, right? And so we can't fix the crime issues with criminals. We have to make sure that we have leaders that are walking integrity, so that they can make sure that they are leading by example and saying, it's just the same way when we was growing up as kids, right? Right? Our parents may whoop us about doing something wrong, but we want to make sure we're seeing them doing what's right. Right? We should lead by example. So that's the first step. Number two, I think it's very imperative to understand that we got to get to the root cause of this crime issue. I'm the one that's, the was just talking about earlier today, I'm the one that's over there in these communities, east side and south side, not because I'm running for elections like all the other politicians do. I've been doing this for years. And when you get into these communities, these families, you realize that they got issues with the brokenness of their family structure. We can come up with all these great ideas, increase police, but if you really statistically look at it, when you increase police, it's too high in a community with a population like this, you have more people going to jail for minor crimes. So yes, we need to get our numbers to where it needs to be, but we don't need to over-police our neighborhood. We need to fund and help support these local organizations that are doing things with our youth and with people that are doing crime in this community. There are people that have 10 people over here, 15 people over there. The city need to collaborate with these people, collaborate with these organizations, collaborate with these companies and these groups that are trying to help our community in small pockets, and together we can bring this city to a place where we eliminate crime. It's really simple. We got to work together to do it, right? But we got to deal with what the real issue is. So yes, I want to help. I want to support. We also do need to invest into different type of recreation, because the way our children interact with fun and activities today is not the way we did it 30 years ago. So we need people that are forward thinking, that know how to see where we're going and hear the concerns of the youth and what they want, not what you want, what they want. And that's what we need to direct our funds in, our attention in, and I'm sure we'll be able to reduce the crime. We definitely got to deal with the poverty issue, but that's a no-brainer. The way you got high poverty, you're going to have high crime. Plain and simple. So we need to deal with poverty, we need to deal with the family structures and support organizations that's trying to help individuals in our community. And we need to have leadership that's going to lead by example.
As mayor of the city, you serve as a ceremonial head. It's your responsibility to facilitate a coalition between the commissioners, the community, the business community, the economic community, the faith-based community, and community activists. We have to bring those entities together. Now, from a leadership standpoint, we have to file financial disclosures every so often. I'm on time with mine. Mr. String, are you on time with your finances? Have you filed your financial disclosure? Okay, have you shown where your money's coming from? Okay, that's a public record issue. We can get public record and we can see. But as mayor, you serve as a ceremonial head. You lead the city, you build the coalitions, and you move the city forward. Yes, we need to look at it.
That's your time, Mr. Members. 30 seconds.
I didn't hear anything that addressed the crime, but anyway, as it relates to the question that was posed to me, as he said, it is. And you want to know where most of my contributions come from? Myself. I don't ask people that's already struggling to keep giving and giving and giving to people that don't need the money. That's where it comes from. So yes, it is. So when you know where it is, that's where it's at. Plain and simple. So it is foul, to answer your question. And so that's all I want to say about that. I've already addressed the crime issue, which is the issue, but I'm not going to do what most politicians do to you all. When you ask questions, don't go around the world and just not really answer the question. Answer what the people ask. Give a plan, give a solution, give a result. That's what the people need.
Economic development. What commitment can you give to increase funding to Economic Development Department, and what plans do you have to expand the department's impact on the city? Mr. Screen, I believe. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Mathis.
Would you repeat that question, Mr. Frank? Dr. Frank?
What commitment can you give to increase funding to the Economic Development Department, and what plans do you have to expand the department's impact on the city?
Well, first of all, I think that the forensic audit will be our guide. That will show us exactly where we need to put monies. Now, community development is just what it said. This is to develop the community. That money comes from three sources. It comes from the city commission, it comes from the state, and it comes from the federal government. The amount of money that the city commission allots to community development will be determined by whatever the forensic audit shows us. Then we can either appropriately fund community development or inappropriately fund it, depending on what we find from the forensic audit. So community development plays a very vital role in this community. It can address a number of needs, not only community development, but housing as well. So thank you very much.
A minute.
I hear so much about economic development, and I am 100% for economic development. But what I want to do when I become the mayor of this city is not just focus on economic development, I want to focus on economic empowerment as well. We need to put our people in a position that they are empowered to be better, to have more, right? We can build more houses, we can build more buildings, but at the end of the day, it's also important to me that as we're building more, that people are owning more, that we are moving people from renting to ownership. That's economic empowerment, right? So I think we need to do both. We need to have collaboration with both, or we'll just have more buildings and more structures, but we'll still be in poverty. One of the things that's going to lead people a good step out of poverty is some ownership. You got to start owning something, right? You got to start owning something, okay? Because if you don't, then you'll always be in debt to who owns what you're always renting and leasing. So I want to combine economic empowerment and economic development at the same time so we can build the city but also build the people.
30 seconds.
Local government, the mayor's responsibility is to facilitate a cohesive working relationship with the commissioners. The mayor cannot go out and empower anybody. The mayor can't do that. The mayor is the facilitator on the commission. He works with the commission and he works in the community. And let's face it, people, that's basic government 101. That's what I give my students at the university.
Thank you, Mr. Mathis. Now let's talk about innovation in the future with a Saligo Rising sponsored question, starting with Mr. Screen. The Ritz Cultural Center and Ritz Center are important landmarks in the Albany community. The current leadership threatened to demolish this structure in 2019. However, due to the efforts of local community organizations and the citizens of this community, the demolition plans were in fact halted. Congressman Bishop has since appropriated $2.2 million in federal funding to begin the process of renovating the Ritz Cultural Center and the Ritz Theater. But the current mayor and current leadership have not prioritized this funding, possibly jeopardizing not only losing this funding and not receiving future funding. Currently, city leadership is once again threatening to demolish and reallocate earmarked funding to other projects. The question, will you protect the Ritz Cultural Center and Ritz Theater from demolition efforts from the city leadership and use the $2.2 billion for renovations as directed by Congressman Bishop? 3 minutes.
I'm going to answer your question, but everybody that know me, and I've been the same way at every forum. When something is on my chest, I got to get it off. I just got to say this. I am glad that I am not one of Mr. Mathis' students, because I don't want to listen to another leader tell me what they cannot do. I'm so sick of these leaders saying what they cannot do. It is an easy way to push off responsibility to somebody else. How are you going to tell me as the mayor that I cannot empower these people? How are you not going to tell me that I cannot leverage my influence as the mayor to make sure that I push you and encourage you and lay out a plan for you to be empowered as a people? I can't accept that anymore. I'm sorry. Now, as far as these funds for the Ritz-Carlton, absolutely, I will allocate those funds. And we got to also consider the fact why our current mayor has not done that, right? It is something that represents our culture, it represents our race, it represents our heritage, and we need to invest those funds, which were supposed to be for that, to that. Not shift them off to the new museum that's coming here. We need to allocate them for what was already here, what it was allocated for. Absolutely, 100%, I will be in all favor to make sure those funds go there. Why is that important for this community as well? We need a place for the arts here. We need places that people that have gifts of the arts and our youth of the arts can go to and be able to develop their skills and their talents and their abilities. So absolutely, I would do that.
Being a native Albanian, I'm very familiar with Harlem. I'm very familiar with the Ritz Cultural Center, the Ritz Theater, the old bus station that we saw torn down, demolished, which erased a substantial portion of our history of the Harlem Business District. I'm for anything that's going to help to revitalize the Harlem Business District. It will not be the Harlem that we know from yesterday, but it can be the Harlem of today. Culture is a part of our history. It's a part of our heritage. And rightly so. But we will not make the same mistake that was made in the past when it came down to the Cultural Center and the people that was running it. We did not have the right people running the Ritz Cultural Center. And as a result of that, they did not show the love for the Ritz Cultural Center, and as a result, the Ritz Cultural Center flopped. We will make certain that we have the right people.
Mr. Screen, 30 seconds.
Nothing else to say on the Ritz Cultural Center. Again, I'm very clear. We should allocate the funds to that. We need to invest in other things that our community can do here, and that is definitely part of our culture, part of our history, and I'm 100% in favor of it.
Let's give a round of applause for me. Mr. Mathis, we'll begin with you. The city of Albany receives millions of dollars yearly from HUD in the form of CDBG and home funding. This funding can be used to rehabilitate existing homes, build new homes, and tenant-based rental assistance. Two parts. How will you ensure the public is more aware of these opportunities? And how will you ensure these funds are spent directly with the communities and families they are earmarked for? 3 minutes.
First of all, we would have the media to put out to the public the funding that we get. We will also have the commissioners to put out to their constituents those funds. Then what we would do is take the funding that is earmarked for impoverished, underserved communities and make sure that those money goes there. I've been a part of city government when we did that. But over the last 20 or so years, we've not done that. Community development was what we did. We went into the community and we did development on senior housing, new housing, and we also had black contractors and white contractors to work to bring these properties up to par, and so they could meet code. And we would do the very same thing with community development. We would put the word out that funds are available. We would take solicitations from the people who needs the service, and we would make sure that that earmarked money goes to the appropriate delegated areas of the city of Albany. Thank you very much.
Mr. Screen, 1 minute.
I definitely would like for us to have a lot more transparency as it relates to the allocation of funds in this city. In addition to that, not just the allocation of it, but also making sure that the contractors in the community are aware of these contracts that are available. Unlike our current mayor right now, if you were 2 forums ago, then you would have heard him say, he just asked the people in his office that they knew any minority contractors. I want to ask the community. That's the people that we serve, is the community. So if you ask the community, you're going to get a bigger response, not just your circle of people. We need leaders that are going to make sure that they're looking out for the people and not just their people, right? And so that's what I would do. In addition to that, as it relates to using houses or building houses, I definitely would start with what we have. I'm a very practical person. I like to make sure that things are realistic. Use what you got until you get what you want. So yes, we can build new developments, but the cost that it will cost for new developments will be 3 to 4 times more as a developer, I understand this, than just renovating some of the things that we already have. So I would start with what we have, and I would rehab them and make sure that we put them in a position that they're able to be available for people to move into to increase our housing market.
30 seconds, Mr. Mathers.
There again, community development is just what it says. It develops the community. We will make certain that federal dollars as well as state dollars goes to the impoverished, underserved neighborhoods for which those monies are earmarked. Point blank. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Let's get more specific. In the city of Camilla and other cities throughout Georgia, they've subsidized their residents' light bills with their surplus and other federal funds. We know the city of Albany, and specifically Albany Utilities, has a surplus of millions in their bank. Are you in favor of pioneering a similar program here that offers Albanians some form of relief from these high utility rates? Mr. Screen, 3 minutes.
Absolutely, 100% I am. I proposed that 4 forums ago. And I said we need to make sure that we are utilizing this money in a way that is benefiting the people that we're making the money from, right? If we're making all this millions of dollars that we have in reserve right now, we need to, from the citizens of Albany, then we need to make sure that we give them something back when we can. And right now we can. There's over $100 million just sitting there, right? So I think it's very, very, very reasonable for us to give them an incentive back, and you reduce something off the light bill, however we decide to do it, but we need to give it back to the citizens and not keep storing it up or decide to do something totally different with the money. I'm in 100% in favor of it.
1 minute, Mr. Mathers.
Atlanta, Georgia, the airport is the cash cow. Albany, Georgia, the utility company is the cash cow. It helps to supplement the city's budget. Georgia Power, Mitchell EMC, and I do believe some EMC, from time to time give rebates back to their citizens. I would be in favor of exploring policy that will return some of the money back in form of rebate or credits to the utilities account of the citizens of Albany that's on the city utilities.
I would like to also add to that, because somebody in the audience had asked something about the proposal of it just being for people of certain age up and homeowners. I believe it should go to everybody that's paying a light bill. If you're paying a light bill, then you're contributing to the money that is being stored up for it. So I would definitely be in favor of doing it, as I said earlier, but I also think that we should definitely give it to every person that is have a light account with water, gas, and lights, and we'll be able to give that back to them.
Let's talk more about renters. More than half of the city's residents are renters, many of whom are paying $1,000 or more in rent. We know that more homeowners means more revenue for the city in the form of property taxes. Mr. Mathers, what is your plan to help guide renters to becoming owners?
That's a very good question. Not far from here, just north of us, is the 37th President of the United States, Jimmy Carter. In 1970, Jimmy Carter passed a piece of legislation that will still today address this problem. And that legislation was the CRA, the Community Reinvestment Act. The Community Reinvestment Act was legislation that would allow and call for banks to give participation in impoverished neighborhoods. There's a young lady that I know, pays a $1,200 a month house note. She has several kids, but that's rent that she's paying. Now she can't get a property because her beacon score is 550, maybe 600. As mayor, I will be willing to meet with the local bank presidents, discuss the CRA with them, get them to buy into maybe setting aside certain amount of monies for individuals who have a good track record of paying their rent every month, never late. Every month. Get that and get with community development and offer incentives to help offset what the banks might do. And then I think that mother, that father, or that mother and that father will then be able to send their kids to college because they can get mortgages on land that you and property that you own. If you're a renter, you cannot send your kids to college unless they get saddled with student loans. So that's what a Mattson administration would do. I would meet with the bank presidents and we would talk about the Community Reinvestment Act.
Mr. Screen, a minute.
So, one of the things that I proposed weeks ago is that not only meeting with the banks to do something for our community, but let me go a little deeper in a plan that's going to be more feasible. We as a city got to learn how to leverage our money, right? So it's one thing to go to the president of the bank and say, hey, I need y'all to lower your expectations on credit score and just go off of what people are renting because institutions have, guidelines that they got to meet, right? But what we do have is leverage is our money. Our money in banks is our leverage. And so if we go to the bank and say, hey, we got this many millions of dollars that we are willing to put into your bank in exchange for what you're able to put back into our community, you have a much better chance at being able to get them to move, right? So we need to leverage our money. Where are we banking at as a city? And we need to leverage that. That's the first part. Second thing is the city also is very big on helping people with their rent, which I'm not against, but I think we need to tweak that some and start helping them with that same fund towards the house ownership.
Thank you, Mr. Screen. 30 seconds, Mr. Banks.
I could get up and say to you that African American churches put millions of dollars into the bank every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And we can leverage it. But what we're talking about is bringing the banking community and the underserved community together and getting them to work. Yeah, you can leverage the money. I have no problem with that. But we're talking about creating a collaboration between the bank and the African American communities. Thank you.
Let's keep talking about money. Mr. Screen, while attracting major industry is important, it is equally important to pour back into your local economy. Cities across Georgia are directly investing in small businesses with grants and other funding opportunities to help improve their local economy. The CARES Act funding that the city currently receives can be used in this way. So what are your plans do you have to have similar tools and resources provide access to capital for small businesses here in Albany?
So I am definitely for supporting our small businesses. However, my approach will be much different than how it's always been. So if any of you are familiar with how it's always been, then there's startup grants that comes up here and there and they say, hey, go over here and take this class and you can get $5,000 to start a business, right? But typically, there's a very high percentage of those people, 90+% of those people never starts a business. They go to the class, they get the money, and then they run off and go buy clothes and shoes with that money, which was our tax dollars. So what I propose is that we invest in the small businesses here, but businesses that are invested in this city. that we should have a structured program to where the longer they've been here in this city, the more we support them financially. It makes sense. It helps our city, so we're going to help you helping us. We cannot continue to waste our funds by just saying we're helping small businesses, but we're really not. We're just helping it with the ideal of it, just to say we're doing something for small businesses, but the people that have been invested here for 5 years, for 10 years, and 20 years, they have seasons that they go through that they struggle, that we ought to be able to have programs in place where we can actually back them and support them through their hardship. That's my plan to support small businesses. So yes, I think we should support them, but we need to do it wiser. We need to be a better steward over our finances on how we do that. And that's my plan. I want to support them, but I want to support them more as they're supporting this city.
And Mr. Screen, can you say more about the CARES Act?
Yes, so again, that's what the money is for, right? It's to help the small businesses. I get it. I'm all for it. And again, like I said, I just would do it a little different. I would allocate it a little different. That's just as simple as I can make it. It's not that I don't want to do it. Everybody, we've been seeing it done the same way. We got to do it different now, right? So that's what I would do.
Thank you. Mr. Matthews, a minute.
CARES Act money that comes from the federal government is earmarked money. It's earmarked. Whatever it's earmarked for, that's what you utilize that money for. Nothing else, nothing more. So with that, I would be willing to work there again with the commissioners, because the mayor is only the facilitator. He can only do what his commission wants to do. And we will take earmarked money from the federal government to utilize that money in its proper places. We just saw $20 million come into the city of Albany that was put in another account that it shouldn't have been put in. But because the commissioners did not have the votes to do it and put the money into the impoverished areas, the money got put into another account. So I would be willing to not divide the commission, but work with the commission to make certain that that earmarked money goes where it is supposed to go.
Mr. Screen, 30 seconds.
So I'm all for working with the commissioners as long as they are working with moving this city forward. Plain and simple. Yes, we need to learn how to work together. And yes, I'm very good at getting people to work together across the board. I'm gifted at doing that. But I want to make sure that everybody understands that we are here for the best interest of the people in this community and moving this city forward. We cannot come with personal feelings, personal agendas, how you feel about me, how I feel about you. All of that get left outside of the door. So my goal is, as the mayor, yes, we're going to work together, but I want to make sure I use my influence to make sure we are coming together for one purpose: move this city forward and help the citizens in this city.
We have time for two final questions. I'm going to combine two. Albany State is a huge resource and ally in our work to move Albany forward. But so few of our graduates stay to reinvest their knowledge and skills back into Albany, like opportunity, entertainment, are the top reasons. Please say in what ways will you work collaboratively with Albany State students and alumni to increase enrollment and retention graduates. Now, K-12. Each of our 3 high schools, Westover, Doherty, and Monroe, have math, science, and reading proficiencies all below 42%. Yet they all have graduation rates of 79% or better. Our elementary and middle schools post similar numbers. How do you plan to work with the Doherty County School Board to ensure the success of all of our Doherty County school system students? So, Albany State and our K-12. Screen, 3 minutes.
So as far as Albany State, let me say this. I've been on that campus and I've been talking to students, right? The students. What are your plans when you graduate? Oh, I'm going to leave. Did I graduate? I'm out. My next question is what? Why? We can't get a job here. It's across the board. We cannot get a job here, right? Why would you go to school for 4 years here and have all this student loan debt, and then when you graduate, you stay somewhere where you cannot get a job for what you went to school for? right? So my plan is to work with industries that we're going to bring here, but we also going to understand with these industry, what are the qualifications that you need to get these particular jobs in your industry, and then now work with Madam President at the ASU to make sure that the courses and curriculums are including what these companies need, so by the time that they get done with it, they can already have job placement opportunities waiting for them right here when they graduate. So there's no excuse why you should just leave. So that's one issue, and I would go into more in ASU, but because of time, let me deal with the other part of the question. When you talk about the school system here, okay, I'm very clear that we have to work with the actual school system, the school superintendents, to actually get things done in the school board and the school district. However, I think that we have been lacking actually including the teachers' input as well with these decisions. I think we need to meet more than just the administration of the school system. We need to hear what these teachers got to say. They are the ones that's in the rooms with these students every single day. And if you listen to the teachers, their views and perceptions on how to fix this issue is way different than the people that are running the school system. So I think we need to listen to them. No different than the politics as well. Listening to the people and not just listening to your own people that's in commissioners with you. Listen to the community. So we need to gather these teachers together, hear what they have to say, listen to what the parents of the students are saying, what's some of their issues and what's some of their concerns, and let's put all of these people together and come up with a comprehensive plan that can move our education system forward. We need everybody's input, everybody to buy in, and everybody investing their ideas, their opinion, and their perspectives to the matter so that we can come up collectively with a very solid, reasonable plan that we can make happen.
Thank you.
Yeah, again, first of all, as mayor, education doesn't fall under his jurisdiction per se. But that's why I mentioned earlier about collaborations. I would form a collaboration with not only the Dougherty County school system, Albany State University, but Albany Technical College as well. Now, when you're talking about recruiting businesses coming in, businesses are not looking necessarily for the professional skills. And that's what we teach at Albany State, professional skills. Albany Tech teach technical skills. So when you talk about recruiting businesses coming in, you need technical skilled people as well as the professional school people. And then for the Dougherty County school system kids, what we will do as mayor, I would meet with the commissioners to see if in fact we can't start interns. We would intern with the Dougherty County school system. We would intern with Albany State University. We would intern with Albany Technical College and start feeder programs into every department of the city that we have.
Thank you, Mr. Matthews. 30 seconds, Mr. Screen.
So, plain and simple, listen. Yes, there's all different types of skills. We're pretty smart people here. All different type of levels of skills. But we got to be able to work. The question was, what we're going to do with ASU and the students there. We have to be able to work with them to make sure we can give them jobs when they get out of school. Plain and simple. Yes, we need skilled workers and labor people as well. That is true. But there are people that come out with degrees. We got to have somewhere for them too. Right? And if they're going to go to school for 4 years to get a degree, we need to have a job waiting for them right here so they don't have to leave with that degree.
Thank you, Mr. Screen. Now, final question. Albany has had a history of several racially animated laws and policies, including sagging, redlining. This question is about marijuana. The city of Camilla, under the leadership of Councilman Corey Morgan, has worked to decriminalize marijuana, as we've heard. It is only now a fine if you're caught with less than an ounce. Are you willing to pioneer a similar ordinance to decriminalize marijuana here in Albany? Mr. Matthews, 3 minutes.
How many minutes?
3.
3. Yes, sir. Well, let me address the last part of the question about the education piece.
Your time.
We can provide internships where we absorb high school students, Albany State University students, and technical students, so that they can work within the confines of city government. That would serve as a feeder program. That would ensure that some students who want to stay will be able to stay because they have working experience in the city government, in the county government, and in the school system. That's where the collaboration will come in. We will make sure that those government entities, school board, county government, and city government work to bring these students in. We have a $315 million impact on this local economy at Albany State. And I talk to the students every week. I don't just go over there when I'm doing this or running with that. I talk to them every week and have been talking to them for the last 13 years. So I know what the students are saying. That's why I'm vying for this office, because I can make it available to those students. I know what they want, and I know what they're looking for. Now, I'm in favor. They are decriminalizing marijuana all over the country. I don't have a problem if a guy is caught with less than an ounce of marijuana, it being a misdemeanor. Now, we can pass it as a city ordinance, if the state permits, that's fine. But I do not have a problem with that. Thank you.
Mr. Screen, 1 minute.
Real simple, I'm in favor of it. At the end of the day, marijuana been used in the medication that they've been using for years. They just, lock up certain people for how they use it. So at the end of the day, let's just be real. Come on now. It is what it is, right? So at the end of the day, I will be in favor of it. And that's just as simple as it is. The question was real simple and direct. I will be in favor for it, decriminalizing it and making sure that we can try to push that through. Yes.
Final word, 30 seconds, Mr. Mathis. You have
Second part?
30 seconds.
I bring more than 30 years of government experience to this position. I have no old ideas. I have no new ideas. I have the ideas that you've given me. I formulated a platform based on what I've heard from you in the north, east, south, and the west. I've taken that. That will be something I will discuss with my commissioners if I'm fortunate enough to be elected. But I can assure you, you can't beat experience. You can't beat experience.
Now we'll take questions for the audience. And a reminder to the audience, questions should be within 1 minute. In this instance, candidates, you will have 2 minutes. 2 minutes to respond. And each candidate has been given their amount of time, despite perception.
Well, hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
I am Aquarius Brown with Aquarius Brown Enterprises. Today we have one online question which asked by Katrina Beckholm. As a business owner, I would love to partner with the psychology and education department to provide my needs. What are your thoughts in the psychology and education departments within the Dougherty County School System and Albany State University?
2 minutes. Screen.
When you're dealing with psychology, it's going to time to really heavier on mental health, right? One of the things that I said way back when COVID took place is that we're going to see such a high rise of mental health issues, which is why I believe that we should allocate funds and support for people that are counselors to get involved with a mental health aspect and try to get ahead of it before we see a whole lot of manifestation of people that have mental health issues that are causing bigger problems. I think we need to go on and get ahead of that issue and start investing more into that. In addition to that, not just because of the COVID pandemic, but also just dealing with poverty, dealing with this type of city, dealing with this type of mindset. So psychologically, we got a lot of things to deal with, because when you're dealing with poverty, the first place you got to beat it at is in your mind. Right? You got to beat it in your mind. So yes, I think that we should invest more into that, support more of that, and also get it into our school systems a whole lot more as well, so we can deal with it from a youth level, and hopefully they can grow up with a better perspective on things.
Mr. Mathis, 1 minute.
Yeah, let me ask you, will you repeat that, the latter part of that question? I think that it's important that we answer that question.
30 seconds.
So the question stated by Ms. Katrina Beckholm. As a business owner, I would love to partner with the psychology and education department to provide in my business needs. What are the things that are needed in the area of psychology and education departments in Albany State University and Dougherty County School System and beyond?
Well, what I think she's asking is there are opportunities for her to have interns. Yes, as mayor, there again, you only serve as the ceremony head. But as mayor, I will be willing to, there again, work with that collaboration of the community, the faith-based, the business community, the economic community, the political community, bring those communities together and look at providing businesses those intern possibilities so that she can have people that can work with her company as well as other companies. Thank you very much, sir.
30 seconds, Mr. Screen, if you have some. Okay.
Greetings, my name is Sherelle Bird, I'm coming as a citizen right now. I want to ask, typically we don't see candidates in our community until they're campaigning and knocking on our doors. And that's the only time we see them talking about the things that they want to do. But I would like to know, before your campaign, how have you served this community? Outside of your personal, your financial pursuits, what have you done to make change and an impact in this community?
Mr. Matthews, on you for 2 minutes.
Well, first of all, I'm a veteran. I'm the service officer for American Legion Post 512. Where I help families of veterans, I help homeless veterans, I help dependents of veterans, and I help them get benefits and resources. I'm down in Harlem every day. I'm helping giving advice to the homeless. I'm giving advice to those who lost their mental way somewhat. I'm at Burger King. I work with Pastor Kenneth Bevel at Sherwood. You know him. I call him up. We meet at different locations where we have homeless people. We have people who are hungry. And I get with Pastor Bevel and we work and try and get those individuals into the various programs that Sherwood provides, including the HOPE program. So I'm in the community. I live in the community. I didn't just move here. I've lived in this community all my life. I've helped people all my life. When I was commissioner, I would respond day and night to people, and I'm still doing that today. I love this community, and I will serve this community. And I don't just go into the area when I'm campaigning. I'm in the area every day. I'm in Harlem, and I don't see a lot of you, but I'm down there every day. I'm in Burger King, Driscoll on North Stafford, Burger King on South Stafford, where the homeless and the rejected are hanging out at. I'm there with them. I'm providing assistance for them. And you ask the veterans who come to me for help. And we've done our share. We've done our work. And I'm willing to work for you. Give me the job.
Listen, I've done more in 10 years than most people have done in 50. It's the facts, right? Look it up. It's the facts. When you want to talk about helping people, whenever there's a need in this city, I show up. Period. Not because of elections, right? If y'all be honest, some of the same ones that's clapping right now, if you really be honest, the question that she asked was, when do you actually see people out serving outside of election when they are running for office? There's a difference between a person that is just trying to be a great leader in the community and a person that has always wanted to be a politician. Politicians, you always see them when it's time to vote. Period. I've been here for 10 years working in this community, helping those in need. You want to talk about homeless people? Who have fed more homeless people than I have? Out of our candidates, who've done it, right? Do your research. Okay, who has helped more students with their supplies every year when they come down to go down to school? Do your research, right? These are the things that I've done. You want to talk about veterans? I have a whole program. Have a whole program.
Thank you, Mr. Smith.
Oh.
30 seconds, Mr. Matthews.
You said 2 minutes or 1 minute?
1 minute rebuttal.
Oh, 1 minute rebuttal. 2 minutes on the first person. Got it, no problem. Do your research.
My work speaks for me. And all I'm asking you to do is just give me a chance to provide my vision for this city. I'm not here 10 years. I've been here 68 years.
A reminder, 2 minute responses, 1 minute rebuttal, 30 second response.
So I've been a business owner here for 12 years, and I've sold my products worldwide. and I thought I knew what leadership was until COVID happened. And when COVID happened, my business went from 22 people down to 2 people in a matter of 2 weeks. We lost everything. What I learned is that I didn't know what leadership was. What leadership was getting down in the mud with my people and figuring it out, and now we're more successful than we've ever been. So I want to know from you guys, what is your definition of leadership? Is it delegation, or is it getting down in the mud and actually working for your people?
That's so easy for me. It is absolutely getting down into the mud and getting it done. Right? Again, I have 25 years of business experience, successful business experience as that. Unlike all the other candidates that are running against me, the ones here are, and the one that is here. Nobody have not managed the amount of employees that I've managed. Not only have I built successful companies, but I've also, and I'm currently for the last few years, 4 to 5 years, have done business consulting to huge companies. You understand? I know how to get it done. And so, for people like you, I would love to be able to mentor more business owners here like yourself and show you how to go through developing your business in a way to make it bulletproof. I believe in making sure that we build businesses that can thrive no matter what city you're in, no matter what type of pandemic you hit. That is what I specialize in. As mayor of this city, I will make sure that I invest into our small business owners like yourself to make sure that you are prepared when things like this happen. In addition to what you went through in COVID, unfortunately, I wasn't mayor then, because if I was, I would have made sure that the $20 million that were advocated for COVID, you would have got a part of that. So, I promise you that. I promise you, you would have got a part for that. So that's what we need. We need people that are selfless, that's going to make sure they are looking out for the betterment of everybody else in this community, not yourself and not your buddies. All right? So I want to be clear about that. So yes, I'll be willing, and this is stuff that I'll be willing to do without compensation, because I love helping people that's trying to help themselves. So absolutely, I'll be prepared to serve you, to help you, and get your company through whatever type of transition you want to do, whether it's scaling, whether it's anything. Again, people talk about owning businesses, but it's a difference when you have one employee and when you have hundreds of employees. It is a different ball game, all right? So thank you so much for your contribution to this city, and even outside of this, I would love to help you, okay?
You know, a politician does what's politically expedient, but a servant is in the heart. It's a servant's heart. You ask, are you a delegator or you a servant? I'm a servant. I don't want you washing my feet. I want to wash your feet. I don't want you giving praise to me because I'm the mayor. I want to give praise to you because you are the most important people in this community. Now, COVID affected the world. We couldn't have done nothing about COVID, but we can deal with the aftermath of COVID. And as mayor, I will work with the commissioners to address concerns that you have. Not I, but the commissioners. We will work together, along with that collaboration that we talked about appointing. Thank you very much for the
30 seconds, Mr. Screen.
So again, I emphasize, as far as servant, I am a servant leader. I'm the only one that's a candidate that's not a politician. Plain and simple. I'm going to say it again. I am the only candidate that is not a politician, okay? I'm a servant leader. I'm running in office as a servant leader, not as a politician. It has not been my whole goal in life to be in politics. So therefore, you ain't seen me for the last 30 years running for political office. I've just been serving people, and that's what I continue to do, keep serving people.
In the interest of time, will our questions remain under 45 seconds?
Candidates will have 1 minute. 1 minute to respond, 30 seconds only to rebuttal.
Thank you. I'll make it real quick. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, great. Okay, so if you're trying to help people get homes and stuff and become homeowners and, have wealth, build wealth, where are you going to find the land if they become from renters to owners?
Mr. Matthews?
That's a good question. Commissioner, I do believe there's still a land bank in town. A land bank. And that land bank has land. And we also have vacant lots. And with absentee landowners. So what we need to do is is come up with a comprehensive plan to bring in Habitat for Humanity, which will build on sweat equity, and you have no note on that house. We will work with the banks through the CRA, Community Reinvestment Act, and that land that we have in the land bank, I'm sure just as the commissioners and the mayor voted to create the land bank, we can change the policy to donate that land for $1 to a potential homeowners. And that's what I would do.
30
Thank you,
seconds,
sir.
Mr. Screen.
Sir, we have plenty of land here, just to be honest with you. I think land is not our struggle, it's actually leadership is our struggle, right? And so at the end of the day, we have not only land, but I will propose to you not just starting with land, starting with our vacant homes. We got so many vacant homes that we can turn over a lot quicker. And again, it would take 4 times more longer to build that house than it will to rehab that house. That's where I would start at, okay? Habitat is a good idea, but they can only push out 1 or 2 houses a year. We need more than 1 or 2 houses a year. We need a whole community to transform a lot quicker than that. So thank you.
Hello, my name is Tony Ray, and my question is, the city of Albany often gets a bad rep. However, it's been my experience that this community is full of hidden treasures. You just have to be willing to dig. My question to each of you is, are you really willing to put in the work, and what does the city of Albany mean to each of you?
1 minute, Mr. Screen.
City of Albany means everything to me. I would not have invested all that I've invested here if I did not see the potential here, right? At the end of the day, people ask me the question, they say, well, how do you know you're going to be here? My question to them is, how much do I have to invest here to let you know I'm going to be here? Any wise man is going to put his money where his heart is, right? I've put my money here, okay? I've invested in properties, I've invested in business, and more importantly, I've invested in people. I see people every single day that have so many dreams, so many ideas, so many visions, and I'm the one that's making sure that I assist them in getting their visions and their dreams come to pass. Ask people in this community, they will tell you, if you come to me with a dream, I'm going to back you and make sure that you can make that dream become a reality. That's my contribution here. That's my investment here. Why? Because I believe in this city, and more importantly, I believe in the people that are in this city. So I'm not just going to talk about it. I promise you, I am the one that's going to be about it, all right? So thank you so much for your question again. I'm here. I ain't going nowhere, and I'm still investing.
30 seconds.
With all due respect, Mr. Scream, I have a vision of being a millionaire. Can you help me? Yeah. But look, what this city needs me, this is home. This is home. I love my home. You have a home? Do you love your home? I love my home. Thank you very much.
My name is Kenneth Florence, and I'm a go by history, and you know what happened in Albany a long time ago. And I believe in the MLK, and it came to Albany, and we have a road in Albany named after Martin Luther King. And every time the commission changed places, changed hands, something bad happened that we got to advance. When a new commission came in, we lost MLK. We had a name from the south side all the way up to the bypass. Commission changed hands, they threw it out the window. We lost it. Lately, we had Facebook Live on the city commission and on the utility board. Commission came in board, threw it away. Now we gotta go to YouTube, and they can't see our comments. We can't come into our commission. We need transparency. So what can you do to bring back MLK all the way to 19? What can you do to bring back Facebook to our utility and school board? And our city commission?
Mr. Mathis, 1 minute.
Well, let me say, historically, African Americans put Martin Luther King in the black neighborhood. I wanted to clear up and make that clear. We got that fact. Now, and then several years ago, it was Jefferson Street, which is one of our presidential streets downtown, was changed to MLK. And then the late Commissioner Doug Everett, who was commissioner at that time, went back and he introduced legislation to change the street back. Now, you know, Martin Luther King said, remember me as a drum major, but not a drum major for recognition, not a drum major this, but a drum major for peace. And we want to create a community, a harmonious community. We don't want to do things any longer to divide the community. We want to do things that's going to bring the community together. Now, I propose, like when they were talking about that, the Liberty Expressway as Martin Luther King.
Thank you, Mr.
But we
Mathis.
wanted it to go through the neighborhood.
30 seconds.
I'm all in support of supporting our history, right? And at the end of the day, we also need to make sure we have leadership that supports. See, that is a part of our civil rights movement that a lot of people overlook here. But when you go around and you start talking to people and seniors in this community that was a part of that community, they'll really give you the history behind the civil rights movement here and the people that actually fought for it and the people that fought against it. Right? I've always been the type of person, I love our history, I love our culture, and I would definitely fight in every kind of way to preserve our civil rights history here. So absolutely, I would be in favor of it, and we can do what we can do. Again, I'm only one person on that fight, but I'll definitely fight with the civil rights movement and not against it. Thank you.
Good evening. A staggering report in 2022 marked Albany number 11 in cities with the highest number of residents living in poverty within the state of Georgia. We also know that the city has an average of 635 crimes against other people and property a month. With that being said, what is your clear policy solution to improve the high crime rate in correlation with the high poverty rate in our city?
1 minute.
Oh, but this is fast. This is going to be real quick. So again, poverty, we got to get people getting some jobs here, okay, that pay some living wages. Not just jobs that's just paying minimum wages. They got to be livable wages. That's going to reduce the poverty by default. It's really simple, right? But we got to be in a position to negotiate with these companies and the industries to make sure that we can do that, and also empower our local business owners as well, that they can pay their employees more money. That's the poverty issue. That by default ties over into one of the solutions for the crime rate, okay? In addition to that, I think that we should also deal with the recreation issue in a more effective way. It's not that they're not willing to deal with it, but they're allocating too much money in one direction when we can spread that money out and meet a better cause, all right? Thirdly, real quickly, I'm all favor of us allocating funds and supporting these local organizations that are helping our young people in a positive way. As the gentleman said earlier, we got to deal with their minds. We got to support them because they're coming from brokenness in their home, and we need to make sure that we're supporting those that are supporting them so that we can deal with that from a home and a family structure area as well. So real quick, that's the quickest I can do it. Thank you.
Mr. Mathis.
There are three things that has to take place. One, you can say what you want, but if the city is not safe, no industry is coming in. That's point blank. So we have to make sure that the city is safe. Then we have to make sure that we have a trained workforce, because industry is not going to come in if there's no trained workforce. We can say all we want, we can talk all we want, but we have to have a safe city, we have to have a trained workforce, and then those two together will address the poverty issue. Thank you very much.
Let's give our candidates a round of applause. And will our candidates from wards 1 and 4 please come forward and give their last remarks. Candidates from Ward 1 and Ward 4. And as they're coming, I would like to thank everybody for allowing me to be the moderator this evening. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for our sponsors in this excellent program. Let's give our sponsors a round of applause. As a part of personal privilege, I'll say, make sure that you reflect on what the candidate said this evening. Make sure you do your research and think strategically about our next steps. We have a lot of work to do, and we have to bring Albany forward. So with that, we'll have our candidates from Ward 1, 4, and the mayoral candidates to give their final remarks. As a reminder, 2 minutes, only 2 minutes of closing statements. I do have a statement to be read from one of the mayoral candidates, and I will say, be mindful of the reasons why some of the candidates did not attend today. Some of them had valid excuses, other of those decided not to attend because of the organizers and the moderator. That being said, let's hear from Ward 1.
I want to thank you all for coming out tonight, spending time with us, seeing who's dedicated and who's not. My name is Larry Harris. I'm originally from Albany, native here, educated here, and I want you to keep in mind that borrowing a phrase from the late John F. Kennedy, when he said that, I'm going to change it around. Ask not what Albany can do for you, but what you can do for Albany. Okay? That is what I'm about. That's why I'm here to serve the people and to make Albany a better life, a good life city for everybody again. Thank you. I appreciate it again.
Thank you, Mr. Wells. That was Ward 4. They have Ward 1.
Thank you guys. I want to thank everybody for who orchestrated this event. I want to thank Adam and everybody who invited me out. I want to thank you guys for taking time
Great,
to come
hold on a
out.
moment. If you would, please give the candidates your undivided attention and hold conversations. Please give them their due respect. Thank you. Mr. McCray.
Thank you. Like I said, I want to thank everybody for inviting me out, everybody for coming out, listening to the candidates. It was very informative information. I am running for Commissioner Ward 1, and I am dedicated to changing the narrative in East Albany. I am dedicated to making a change in Albany as a whole. I am excited. I am greatly appreciative of all the support that have come my way since I made the decision to run in this race. We've been under the same leadership for the past 29 years, and we have simply declined in our area, and we are ready for change. And I'm here to bring that change. I'm greatly excited about it. I'm very ambitious. And if you guys put me in the seat, I can promise you, we will see change in East Albany, and we will change the narrative on how we speak and view East Albany and the city of Albany as a whole. Thank you, and have a good night.
Since we began with Mr. Screen, we'll begin with Mr. Mackins for his 2-minute closing remarks. 2 minutes.
Today, our city faced many challenges. The most important challenges, issues facing our city today is the lack of a comprehensive plan that will address crime, economic development, poverty, and community development. We must embrace Albany State University, Albany Technical College, Doherty County School System, the business community, the faith-based community, the African American. As African American, we have the political power, but the white community has the economic power. We have to bring those two together for the good of Albany. And I'm the only candidate that can bring the black community and the white community together so we can address these problems that we're facing today. I'm motivated to run for mayor because this is home. I'm 4 generations. I was educated here, I raised my kids here, and I've served before, and with your support, I can serve again. Thank you very much. God bless Albany, God bless the state of Georgia, and God bless America.
I'll now read Mr. Salam's comments, and then we'll end with Mr. Screen. Dear moderator, fellow candidates, and community, I am writing to express my sincere apologies for not being able to attend today's forum, October 21st, 2023 at 5 p.m. Unfortunately, due to work travel obligations that require my immediate attention, I unfortunately must miss this vital event. It is with deep regret that I will not be present to engage directly with my fellow candidates and the esteemed members of our community on this occasion. Despite this, I want to reaffirm my unwavering commitment to our city's progress and well-being. Serving as your mayor is not just a position I am seeking, it is a calling to uplift our community, secure its future, and ensure that our government works for the people it serves. My platform, which I am deeply passionate about, centers on critical pillars that I believe are fundamental to the prosperity of our community. 1, jobs for local people. I am dedicated to nurturing an economic environment that creates and sustains jobs for our residents. Through strategic partnerships, we can ensure that everyone who seeks employment finds opportunities right here at home. 2, transparent government. Trust in our city's leadership is critical. If elected, I pledge to implement policies that promote transparency, encourage citizen engagement, and foster open communication. Every resident, deserves to know how decisions are made, how resources are allocated, and how they will contribute to our city's governance. 3, disaster preparedness and community safety. The safety of our citizens is priority that cannot be compromised. I am committed to developing comprehensive disaster response strategies by preparing today to safeguard our tomorrow. Though I regret my absence at the forum, I am hopeful for the opportunity to discuss these issues in depth through various platforms and engagements as the campaign progresses. I am fully committed to this race and, more importantly, to our community's future. Please feel free to share this letter with those present at the forum, as it contains my heartfelt regret for not being there in person and reiterates its core values and commitments. Thank you for understanding, and warm regards, Omar Salam, candidate for mayor. Last but not least, Mr. Screen, 2 minutes.
Thank you all again so much for coming out today. I am Antonio Screen. I'm running for mayor of the city. Listen, make this very clear. My number one priority as mayor of this city is to regain the trust between the people and the politicians. Period. Whether you want to agree with it or not, the reality of it is the people do not trust the politicians. And as mayor, I want to show you that they can be trusted again, right? Now, in order for us to do that, the reality of it is we have to make sure that we are moving this city forward. You cannot keep doing the same thing expecting to get a different result, right? In addition to that, disagree with my opponent here, Mr. Mathis. He is definitely not the only one that can bring every race together. If you go to my church, you're going to see every race. If you go to my businesses, you're going to see every race. If you go in just my circle of friends and associates, you're going to see every race, right? So I want to make sure y'all are very clear. I'm going to be the mayor of this city, and I'm going to be it for all race and all people and all sides, east and south side, right? Now, let me be very clear when I say this right here. We need a person in our seat of mayor that, number one, we can trust. In order to do that, we got to make sure we're not moving backwards. I am the only candidate, hear this, out of the 2 other valuable candidates here, I'm the only candidate that y'all have not given a chance yet. Period. Right? I want you to think about that. They've already gotten his chance. Mathis has gotten his chance. Bowden got his chance multiple times. Right? And they've already showed y'all what they were willing to do with their chance. So now I'm asking for this city and everybody that's watching right now to give me a chance. And listen, they're counting on us not to vote because they want to see the same thing over and over again. But I'm speaking to everybody watching live and everybody in this room. Get out to vote. Tell 20 people you know to get out and vote, because we want to send a message loud and clear through this city that we are ready for change.
And again, let's give a round of applause to all of our candidates, our sponsors for the evening. And please give a round of applause for yourselves as community members that dare to come out and listen to what's going on in Albany. We'll have some final remarks from our organizer, Adam Inye. Please be safe on home. And I'm James Pratt. Have a good night.
Okay, we are way over time. Everybody say thank you, Miss Atkins, for letting us stay late. But shoot, we got final remarks are going to be delivered by Joshua Anthony. I'm not sure if y'all have seen the signs around, but he's a powerful young man, dynamic, and he just announced that he's going to be running for state rep. And so, but he's going to close us out. He's going to make sure that y'all get out there and vote. That's right, yeah, give him a round of applause. He's coming over here. And we thank y'all again. A big huge thank you to all the elected officials and the sponsors. And Joshua Anthony, close us out with some good thoughts, man.
How y'all doing today? I know y'all tired, I know y'all sleepy. But I want to say this first and foremost. I want to thank you all for being here. It took a lot to put this event together, and I want to appreciate Adam, Ms. Atkins, everybody a part of this event. And first and foremost, I want to say thank you all for even allowing me to hear myself today. The most important thing tonight is not my race, but the most important thing tonight is a race that's going to be happening through the rest of early voting and on November 7th. There is no way that I can do anything without the proper team, not only on the state level, not only on the federal level, but it has to be at the city and local level as well. I need you guys to vote your heart. I need you all to vote your conscience. I need you to vote for your families, most importantly. This is about you guys' future, as well as mine, because I do live here. I live on the east side. But I think that it's extremely important that when you're looking at every single one of these people on the ballot, that they represent you. You make the decision if they've had an opportunity and they fumbled it, or if they have not had a chance and you're not prepared for them to take that ball forward. It's up to you. I think we need to give every single one of these candidates an opportunity in your guys' mind to determine where our city goes. But most importantly, it's up to you to where our city goes as well. So I am running for state representative for District 153, which is Albany, Georgia, and most of Doherty County, a lot of Doherty County. I just turned 21, so I'm a young guy, but I've been doing this since I was about 14 years old. I've been blessed enough to work with all kinds of state representatives and state senators, congressmen, U.S. senators. I've been blessed to be able to do that, write all kinds of bills. I was born and I was raised here, and we've been dealing with problems. I've been dealing with problems. The people my age that I know, people my age, they've been dealing with the same problems. Senior citizens, babies, everybody have been dealing with the same problems for over 40 plus years. And yet we've seen no reciprocal change. We have nonprofits that work day and night, just like School of Georgia Rising. I appreciate all of y'all for being here. They work day and night to make change, but we don't have the people in these places to be able to do that. I pray and I ask you all that on November, on May 21st, of 2024, that I can win your trust and be able to run for you guys and change the state of not only Albany, but all of Southwest Georgia. I appreciate you all for being out here tonight. Thank y'all.
And with that, go home, everybody. And make sure y'all vote November 7th. It is first Tuesday in the month, second Tuesday. But November 7th is election day. Again, early voting is going on tomorrow as well. So if you have not voted yet, you can vote tomorrow and all next week. Follow Albany Forward on Facebook. And y'all have a good night. Drop the mic.